Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for clicking on the video. Before we get into the questions from the community, I just want to let you guys know that this is something that we do every Monday on our live streams at 7 p.m. Central European time. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're an old veteran and you're just getting this information, join our stream, join our Discord, and make sure you guys follow and sub to the channel. Leave a comment what you think about these kinds of videos, and if you have any more questions that maybe weren't answered in this video, feel free to leave a comment right under here. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so the first question, I saw this question actually repeated a few times before. Do we have any plans to add the Orient Express in campaign mode? At this time, unfortunately, we have no plans to add the Orient Express in campaign mode. It will stay in the scenario mode, and that's that. Okay, moving on. In career mode, why is there so little opportunity for postage and passengers at stations for delivery to Strasbourg and Vienna? So generally speaking, this is DLC content, so that's why there's less deliveries there. Otherwise, if this is something that we could sort of fix or optimize, we'll have to look into it to see if it's something that we can improve upon. Is there any possible way to add some country flags in the buildings, or like for a Polish language, for example, like on billboards? Something that will be unique that will remind you of the city that you're currently in. Generally speaking, this is an awesome idea, and I actually, like, just to give you guys some context, okay, I ran these questions through our lead QA and our lead game designer right now, and we sort of brainstormed, and this is what we came up with. Okay, so we generally think it's a great idea to add, to add like specific things that are connected to the country you are in, right, in the game, right? So like Polish flags or something like that. Like, I don't know, like, when it comes to like the legality of using certain, I don't know, marks and flags in a video game, like that might be some sort of gray area that we might have to look into further. Maybe, like, we don't want to get in trouble, right? So like it's something that we'll have to do, we'll have to check up on, but we generally think it's a cool idea, and we're gonna speak with our level artists to see how we can implement these things. Okay. Will there be more locomotives added in the future? More locomotives added in the future, so possibly with more updates and a future DLC. Now, everything that I say here, guys, take with a grain of salt, obviously, right? So, don't take our word for it. Right now, we're like super laser focused on bringing the game to a state that everyone is satisfied with on all platforms, right? And that's why we're sort of doing these live streams. That's why we're gathering the feedback, all that kind of stuff. So, I'm sorry, will there be more random events, dynamic weather, like blizzards, for example? So if we decide to do more DLCs in the future, yes. However, at this time, the future DLCs is something that we're not really talking about right now. But, if anything comes to light, then obviously we will let you guys know. Because right now it's sort of highly unlikely when it comes to the weather. It would be cool, it would be cool, but it's given our time frames and deadlines and stuff like that, it'll be hard. So we'd rather put that focus energy into something that'll give more immediate results. Improved camera and zoom for cinematic screenshot lovers. Now, so this depends on how badly you guys want something like this. And it depends on you guys. I mean, yeah, there's been like a few people here, few people there mentioning, yeah, cinematic camera. How bad do you guys want the cinematic sort of camera? So you can take some nice looking screenshots. Send in your suggestions on Discord. Send in your suggestions on Discord in the appropriate channels. We're on there all day, every day, looking at stuff, looking at you guys, writing, talking about things. So yeah. Increasing AI trains in the game. So let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. For all the console players that are coming into the game right now, like obviously they won't remember this because early access released on PC at the beginning of the game, towards the end of August of last year, and we did have a lot of AI trains in the game at the launch of early access, and they were causing, they were being more of a headache than they were being sort of a game mechanic, right, in the game. So we dialed the dial back, we dialed it down, and we reduced the amount of AI trains throughout the entirety of early access. So before we add the AI trains back to sort of a greater degree, maybe we'll give you guys like a slider. That doesn't sound like too bad of an idea to maybe just add like a slider in the settings where you could just sort of give yourself how many AI trains you want, right? Like maybe this is something that we could talk about, like we can have a conversation about internally about adding something like that to the game. But first and foremost, we have to fix the signaling system. As you guys are aware, we have to improve upon it. So then it could possibly increase the likely, after that, we could increase the likelihood of certain events of happening. So we're also talking about adding more trains to the stations for decoration, for example, right? And this is something to make the stations feel more lively, more busy, right? More dirty. I know some people were talking about that. They're too clean. I think Trainsman mentioned something like that before, that they're too clean. So we're gonna dirty it up. We're gonna try to dirty it up for you guys to, give you guys some more immersion as well. So next question, could the speed limits be looked at? There's not enough time to slow down for rail workings. Yeah, so this is something that we also noticed that you guys are mentioning over and over again, and I'm happy to say that within the next update, there will be a new UI, a new HUD that will give more helpful and transparent information about upcoming speed limits and distance to those speed limit changes. So hopefully with the new HUD and new UI, it will remedy those growing pains you guys are having, okay? Next, when will the new WAG electric locomotive be fixed approximately? So this is something we're gonna need to talk more to our code team as well as our QA, do some retesting, and find out what exactly we could do to make it better. Can your graphic designer work on a train life, a great quality map for all the game lovers that we can print and have it when we drive? All the cities and stations around, this will be epic. Definitely would be pretty epic to have something like that, and I personally think that would be a cool idea, and it would be cool to have this go along with, for example, creating like a printable PDF of the codex, right? Like I think someone from the community mentioned that as well. That I think it was like Tintin or something like that. That mentioned that, and yeah, I mean, if we find the time, that's more of like a nice to have, but not necessary for the game's success. But yeah, but I think it would definitely be like a cool thing to have for your viewing pleasure, right? So you guys can maybe smack a big old train life poster on your wall, right? Where and when are the bug fixes coming to consoles? So as I already mentioned, this week, bug fixes, hot fixes, new HUD, consoles, and PC for everyone, okay? This week for sure. We don't want to give any dates out right now, but I just want you guys to know that this week for sure. PC, most likely Wednesday, consoles later in the week, okay? Will there eventually be a variety of cars designed for passenger excursion services such as Orient Express and any future express services that will have cars such as baggage in the front and a mix of painted coaches and diner car and sleeper and whatnot, like the real Orient Express? So Short answer, no, we don't have any plans to further expand the Orient Express content with regarding those suggestions that I just read.